I do not know you, but I am your brother.
You do not know me, but I am your protector.
I will run into a burning building to save your life.
Though I do not know your name, I will take a bullet for you.
Though we've never met,
I believe in duty and sacrifice
of self.
Your family is my family.
Is my family. Your life is my duty.
What's going on, guys? Time for another episode of Behind the Uniforms. I did it, I caved, I brought a freaking politician on the show. For those of you who have never seen this show before, the way that it works is that we invite veterans or first responders, active or retired on, and we ask them to bring some whiskey, we share a drink, and they share two stories. They tell us about a good day, they tell us about a bad day. I told everybody I wasn't going to get involved in politics, but like, this is my boy Micah, and I had to have him on the show. Some of you may have seen the video that went viral last year where Micah and I went, we've sort of attacked a bunch of college crybabies who burn the American flag on Veterans Day. This is Micah. So Micah brought some great whiskey, and I'm gonna have Micah tell you who he is, tell us about a good day, tell us about a bad day, and then Micah's gonna tell you to vote for him. But it's my boy Micah, so go for it. Tell him who you are while, first cheers. Cheers to your service, brother. All right, go.
So thanks again for having me on here. You know, I appreciate it.
Just don't screw up. Okay, this is like your big shot. This is the big day.
Oh, you know, you can stop it and we'll do the whole edit thing. So I could be like, oops.
No, you know how, like, that slows down the edit Go, tell them who you are.
So my name is Micah Welintukonis. I'm a retired U.S. Army veteran. I was wounded in Afghanistan on 9 July 2012. I was shot and took a direct hit from a suicide bomber. Died twice, came home in a medically induced coma. So I got involved on local politics while I was in the process of retiring from the Army. And currently right now I'm running for governor as an unaffiliate.
You're out of your mind for running for governor in the state. I'm just gonna throw that, like, you're out of your mind. God bless you, man. Like, politics is so dirty. I hate it, but whatever.
Well, I'm not dirty. You know
You're not. You're not dirty at all. That's why I don't know why you're in this. All right, so where do you want to start? You want to tell me about a good day or a bad day?
There's actually a couple bad days, Kyle. Back in 2004, while I was serving in Iraq, I was a young medic back then, and I lost my first patient during a rocket attack. So I really took that, you know, really hard. Got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress or post-combat stress. By the way, it's not a disorder. No veteran is ever broken beyond repair, so it's healthy to talk about it and get the help you need. And it took me years and years to literally recover from that. Another bad situation is obviously where I was physically injured in a complex attack on our base on 9 July 2012, and I ended up having to be resuscitated twice. I can't straighten this arm out anymore. I took shrapnel, went through my vest into my abdomen, and basically the treatment was so terrible that on my claim form I claimed, you guys are gonna laugh, post-traumatic Army disorder and post-traumatic VA disorder.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. I actually had to do several congressional inquiries because just, you know, and even to this date, 5 years later, I still can't get the proper treatment that I need. And that's part of the reason that fueled this running for governor.
Got it. Tell me about a good day.
Well, there's a couple good days. Obviously, the birth of my children, the day I married my wife, the day she said yes to me.
Good day for you, bad day for her? I'm just kidding. I'm married, I could say that.
Another good day, obviously, you know, just meeting great people like yourself, Matt Corey, Navy veteran who's going to be on. And like today's a good day. I mean, look at it. It's sunny, it's beautiful out. You know, we're able to sit here, talk, express our, you know, views on things. You know,
one of the things that I love about you, man, is that in the first few experiences when we met, you are one of the most selfless people I have ever met in my life. you know, the platform that you run on, you do it not for you do it in spite of yourself. You do it in spite of your family. And that's one of the things that I've always really admired about you, is that you are very adamant about service above self, always. And so I want to cheers to you on that. All right, here's an opportunity for you to talk about your platform. Go, and who runs as unaffiliated in this day and age? You should probably explain why.
Well, I've always been an unaffiliated voter. And then getting into it, people are like, yeah, you got to pick a side. You know, you're not rich, you're not famous. You know, even though you did that outstanding video with Kyle Reyes, you know, nobody ever picked me up nationally, so.
I don't know, man. You were in like every single Fox and Friends interview that I did, Varney and Company, Kennedy Show, Risk and Reward. Like, your face was on all of them, so you got to give yourself a little bit more credit.
I don't, shit, whoops.
Why'd you decide to run unaffiliated?
Oh, so then I got involved with my care and my treatment. So there I am. I'm at the President Obama's State of the Union address. And I kind of got my first taste of politics. And
you came back for more?
Yeah, I went to, you know, my wife and I, we went to the White House twice. I got recognized by my U.S. congressman on
super cool.
on the congressional floor there. Like, you know, I'm up there with like Lincoln now.
It's awesome.
So, and there were just many things like fueling the fire, so to speak. It's like, so here I am, I'm permanently disabled now for the rest of my life. I'm not getting the proper care. I have to do congressional inquiries. You know, going to all these cool places, you know, that we mentioned, and getting all this recognition. And I'm like, why is this so screwed up? Like, we have all the stuff that's supposed to be set in place, and I'm like the poster child for what can go wrong, will go wrong.
Sure.
One of Murphy's laws. And it was just frustrating, and I'm like depressed, and I'm angry, and I'm like, you know, I just want to be back in the military. And I got robbed, you know, like I want to be whole again. I want to go serve my country. And you hear all the politics going on, and then I got involved in the local level. Something just said, you know, inside, like, hey, you could continue your service in other ways. So I was the vice chairman on my town council for 2 years, and then I ran under the Republican Party as a unaffiliated person, and then I said, screw this, I'm just going unaffiliated, going for my second term. So I actually petitioned to get on the ballot. I got on the ballot. Right before that, my wife had, as you know, 3 chiropractic-induced strokes, which was crazy. So I didn't really campaign. Sure. But ironically, without doing hardly any campaigning, I got roughly 20% of the vote.
That's great. It's your good
in
looks.
my town. Something. And then, obviously, I didn't win. So I got asked to represent one of our state of Connecticut veteran groups here over in the legislature. And it just like ultimately shocked me how people will sit there, flat out lie to you. I mean, there's some good people that actually care, but then at least, God, 3/4 of them flat out lie to your face.
Sure. Dirty politics.
Yeah. So what they do is they'll go, like, say you want to fight for whiskey, or
because I'm a whiskey patriot.
Right. So politicians will be like, you know what, Kyle? I love it. I'm behind you 100%. They'll sign their name on a bill, or they'll co-sponsor it, and then they know it's going to go to another committee and die. So when it fails, they come back, you know, and they're running for re-election. They're like, hey, Kyle, you know, can you remember I fought for you? Can you do that? And they do the same thing with veterans issues. So I had 100% bipartisan support for a friend of mine in Manchester who lost his right leg over in Iraq in the Battle of Fallujah. And they're all up there, why isn't the federal government doing more? And I'm like, I don't know, but what are we going to do right now? We can address this. And it never got voted on. And not a single politician brought it up, or nobody said anything. They squashed it, you know.
Feel-good legislation that they knew was doomed from the start.
Yep. But they flat out lied, you know. and they were screaming at the top of their lungs, basically, you know, this isn't fair, this isn't right, our veterans deserve so much. And that was, and you know, once I uncovered the truth, I was like, what the bleep? You know,
so what is your pledge to the people?
So my pledge is I take the example of leadership that I learned in the military, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm cutting my salary in half. The other thing I want to do is establish a recall vote, so that's going to give the people the ability to fire me. Like if they're just like, hey, I don't like what you're doing, then hey, power's back in your hands.
Yep.
You know, I've already uncovered 100 million in state waste that the state just pissed away, like on limousine rides, yacht club memberships, chocolates. It all adds up to over 100 million just in 1 year alone, and that's like the tip of the iceberg. Before I accepted a single donation, I just worked on my plan. I refused for anybody to give me money like the typical politicians do.
Yep.
Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to change things. Give me money.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm already setting the examples, and I just continue to go further and uncover more and more waste. I've yet to actually hold a dedicated fundraiser, and we're 10 months into this.
Wow.
And we've had this conversation. He's like, you got to raise money. And I'm like, I know. Next year we'll focus on that. But in order to lead, you have to know exactly what you're getting into. And nobody can touch me on the financial mess on this state. Nobody.
I see your posts on Facebook all the time. To that point, how can people follow you?
So people can go to my website right here. It's MICAH, Micah, the number 4ct.com. Also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. All you have to do is type in #CTCares.
For those of you who follow the Whiskey Patriots series, we're actually going to be opening up the platform and the show to everybody running for governor in the state of Connecticut. So I hope you guys all check that out. It gets heated. It gets ugly. J.R. Romano and I actually almost punched each other in the face on the last episode talking about pensions. So it's good stuff.
Yeah,
well,
like even doing the gun stuff, I went over to the far left. I went over to the far right. And, you know, if you're going to lead a state, you kind of have to put your personal feelings and beliefs aside and go, what is 80% of this state, what is acceptable to them? And like, I already have my gun stance up there. I'm the only guy that's got a gun stance. And they're asking for money, and they won't even put in writing what their gun stance is.
I actually couldn't run for office because I have far too many ex-girlfriends and I swear way too much. You know, I tried to get Carl Higbie to run with me as governor, not as governor and lieutenant, like as co-governor. We were going to tell the people of Connecticut that we identify as one person. And like, what do you do with that? They would have lost their minds. It would have been great. But brother, I hope that everybody follows you. I will continue to drink with you because you, my friend, are a whiskey patriot. So thank you for coming on the show. Guys, it's going to take you 2 seconds to share this episode. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, unaffiliated.
Chip in $5. You know, $5 is nothing.
And if you don't want to get involved in politics, you could just come chip in a bottle of whiskey for the whiskey wall and get on the show. So,
which is more expensive.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the 2 seconds it takes to hit the damn share button. God bless America. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.